record. Okay, let's get to these offseason power rankings. And this is just the Western Conference. So call in when this thing gets squirrely. 916-339-1140. And really, they're updating this in the offseason. So it's really based on the moves that teams are making or the moves that teams are not making. They have the Oklahoma City Thunder at number 1. Last week, they were 4. And I'm pretty sure that move did not, or the trades that they made, they were not last week, okay? Denver Nuggets, this is from NBA.com. So this is straight from the source. Denver Nuggets at number 2. The Dallas Mavericks at number 3. The Minnesota Timberwolves at number 4. And I don't really have any problems. I think Dallas is maybe a little high right now, but you got to give respect to Dallas and what they did getting to the finals. But 3 is maybe a little high for me. They got in as a 5 seed and then did their thing. Minnesota Timberwolves at number 4. The Phoenix Suns at number 5. That's a little high to me, but you do go out, get Tyus Jones and get some guys, so fine. Number 6, as I said, the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, their key addition, DeJounte Murray, they did lose to this point, as I was saying, how excited they should be. Key departures, they did lose Jonas Valanciunas, Dyson Daniels, Najee Marshall, who went to the Mavericks. Maybe that's part of the reason why the Mavericks are rising as well. And they got Klay Thompson, of course. And Larry Nance. They lost those 4 players who, obviously Jonas Valanciunas, big minutes. Najee Marshall. Larry Nance was hit or miss. Dyson Daniels as well. But the New Orleans Pelicans coming in at number 6. Number 7, the Golden State Warriors. Key departure, Chris Paul, Klay Thompson, Dario Saric. Key additions, DeAnthony Melton, Kyle Anderson, and Buddy Hield. They are in at number 7. That would still put them in the play-in, but the Golden State Warriors are ahead of your Sacramento Kings, who are sitting at number 8. Key addition, DeMar DeRozan. Key departures, Harrison Barnes and Davion Mitchell. And this is what they had to say. They have 2 segments, 3 numbers to know, and key questions. So first, 3 numbers to know. Each of the Kings' top 7 players in regard to total minutes played scored less efficiently than last season. Of course, that was the Beam Team year. They were one of 2 teams, the Pacers were the other, that ranked in the top 5 in both ball movement and player movement, according to Second Spectrum Tracking. Domantas Sabonis led the league with 4.1 assists on 3-pointers per game, second most for any player in the last 6 seasons. And the key question that they ask, the 15-year veteran who turns 30, I didn't say it in case Chris is listening. The key veteran on Wednesday has a birthday on Wednesday, and DeMar DeRozan can still get buckets and get to the line. And the Kings were worse in clutch games last season than they were otherwise. They were 20-19, and otherwise they were 26-17. But it may be a challenge for the player who ranks 4th in total isolations over the last 3 years to fit in with a team that moves the ball as much as the Kings. Perhaps they stagger minutes so DeRozan is the first starter to sub out and then comes back in to run the second unit. If they can have the best of both worlds while not taking a step back defensively, the Kings should stay in the mix for a top 8 spot in the West. This is bad. This is bad because it gets to a point where the Kings are just going to make everyone look crazy, or Vegas and NBA.com and The Ringer and all these other places, they don't have purple lenses on, and maybe they're on to something. I don't think they're number 8. Okay, I definitely don't think they're number 8. By the way, they have the Clippers at number 9, the Grizzlies at number 10, which I'm sure the Grizzlies don't like that, the Rockets at number 11, the Lakers at number 12, the Spurs at number 13, the Jazz at 14, and the Blazers rounding it out at the bottom at 15. But after all that and everything the Kings did, and they didn't add, by the way, they didn't add any draft picks, so there's no talk of draft picks, at least there's not with the Kings. So they have the Kings still in the play-in, and they wouldn't even get a home playoff game. They'd have to now continue this ridiculousness with the Warriors and go to the Bay Area. And to me, that's the first egregious one. That's the most egregious one, the Golden State Warriors. So at least number 7, which still puts you in the play-in. After that, I can't put them over the Pelicans. I mean, why would I put them over the Pelicans when they can't beat the Pelicans? Now, the Pelicans didn't look like world beaters against everyone else, but I don't know that I can put them over the Pelicans. The Phoenix Suns, I think the Phoenix Suns are a bit high, but, I was talking to Jason Ross, what was that, last week, and he said, I think the Suns are going to figure it out. I think this is the year. It's been a couple years. You know who else agrees and has the Suns over the Sacramento Kings now with the addition of Tyus Jones? That would be one Kyle Draper. I heard Kyle Draper talk about that as well last week. So, obviously, on paper, everybody's going to pick the Suns. I think they still have a thin bench. Okay, they lost Drew Eubanks and Eric Gordon, and they have guys and Grayson Allen who's been balling out. But I do think it's a coin flip. And then after that, you have the Timberwolves, the Mavericks, the Nuggets, and the Thunder. So to me, it's just I don't really know what's happening if you're not making any type of move. And everybody that's still in that play-in, that's what we talked about early in the show. They're all still in the mix to try to get at. Nobody wants to be in that play-in. This whole idea, the whole facade, and I'm so glad it's over because I was tired of hearing about it. This whole facade of, the Lakers, look how far they got out of the play-in. Look where the Heat got. Okay, you can try that mess again and see what happens because it didn't work this time. Did not work this time. There were no random runs. So you don't want to be the play-in is not a safety for you. That means something went wrong. Not that, we can just kick it in the play-in and go from there. Nobody has done it. And I don't know when someone is going to do it. You can talk about the Heat all you want. The Celtics choked. The Bucks choked. That's not the norm. So what are the Kings going to do to get out of this? So as much as I want to huff and puff and be mad, really the only team that I think makes it egregious is the Golden State Warriors. And that still puts the Kings in the play-in. So that's a problem. Do I think they could be better than that? Sure, but it's going to be the two teams I'm looking at to take a step back. And, well, technically it's 3. I just don't know how far. The Suns, hopefully, they still continue to mess around. And the Mavericks, hopefully they continue to mess around. And I'm not very high on the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets have had a terrible offseason. So maybe the Nuggets are the team that exit the chat so that the Kings can enter, but it's going to have to be a couple teams. That's as it's presently constructed. And, of course, that's what Monty McNair said on these airwaves with one Jason Ross. Coming up next, Martin Gallegos, A's writer for MLB.com, joins us. So we talk a little bit of Oakland A's and get you excited about their arrival in Sacramento. Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Alan Stiles filling in.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry. You never